Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about lesson learned. Woman goes to Wingstop herself after waiting over an hour for her Doordash order. She runs into her delivery driver. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one. Seems like on the surface level, from an experience standpoint, that a customer who either didn't tip or something to that effect waited over an hour for her order. And because of that, she ended up running into the delivery driver that was eventually assigned to it. So with that said, we are talking about everything that's being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A disappointed Doordash customer is urging the company to do a little bit better. After she waited over an hour for her Wingstop order to arrive, she ended up going to the restaurant where she ran into the delivery driver. A confrontation ensued. Okay, so the Doordash customer waited over an hour for her Doordash order to arrive, and then she got into it with the delivery driver. What is there to get into? Like, if you wait over an hour, it took that long for somebody to get a sign. That's not the driver's fault.
Long story short, I placed an order at 6 o'clock for food to be delivered at 8 o'clock. I placed it through the Wingstop website, and I got confirmation from them that they received it and that Doordash would be the one that was delivering my food.
I'm going to leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Okay, so from what I could tell so far, she placed an order at 6 p.m. to be delivered at 8 p.m., right? So it's already a scheduled order. That's 2 hours of wait time. From there, she booked it through the Wingstop website. Wingstop, and there are times when a customer books it through the website, the tip, whether it's there or not, can be taken away. Meaning, the order went from the customer to Wingstop. Wingstop sent the order through Doordash while at the same time siphoning the tip for themselves, and then a no-tip order ends up in the Doordash pool. That's not the customer's fault. That's the Wingstop's fault if it was done that way. If she doesn't tip her driver at all, that's her fault. But that's also not the Doordash driver's fault anyway. That's the Wingstop for siphoning the tip, or the customer for not tipping, or the Doordash system. But I sincerely doubt it's the latter there.
I got a text message at 7:35 that my Dasher was waiting at the restaurant and waiting for my food. I checked it again about 8:15 because we still hadn't received our food, and I try to give the restaurant and the DoorDasher grace because you don't know what's going on at that moment. Another 15 minutes goes by. It's now 8:30, and I'm checking the app again, and it still says that the Dasher is waiting for my food. So I call Wingstop at 8:38, and I talk to a gentleman who was very, very sweet. He goes, "Ma'am, your food has been sitting here for 30 minutes, and there is not a Dasher waiting for your food." I said, "Cool, I'm on my way." I start driving over there. I get there, I park, and I see this other car pull up.
So somebody who is apparently waiting for your order is not waiting for your order? Where would he be? You can't mark yourself as arrived unless you're actually there. Did he unassign the order? Is that what happened there? Because if the order was sitting there for 30 minutes, you gotta think at some point the driver decided to have the order unassigned, because that's very much possible. And because of that, the system would update saying that the order was unassigned from so-and-so, or they're still looking for a Dasher. Because some restaurants, Wingstop included, can be really disrespectful to drivers.
So I'm getting out of my car, and as I'm walking into Wingstop, I get a text message that your Dasher has picked up your food at, I think, 8:49. I said, "Yeah, I can see her." So I go up to her.
Wait a second. This already seems really suspicious. Why are you waiting over an hour for your meal? Is this a no-tip order and you're trying to complain as if it is a order that you placed? I don't feel like you even mentioned the tip itself so far. Could the driver have been trying to hack the earn by time system? I mean, maybe, but there are better ways to make money on Doordash. Come on. He was saying that the Dasher was not there waiting for your food. I feel like there's a lot of things that could have been said here. I feel like there's a lot not being said. Between the time of 8:38 and 9:49, somebody could have very well came in and picked up your order as part of a stacked order or something else. It's also 100% possible that this customer was trying to game the system for a refund to begin with. Because how else are you going to get free food in this economy these days?
I said, "Are you so-and-so?" And I had her name wrong, which was my bad. And she goes, "No, that's not me." I said, "Well, is this food for Ashley?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "That's me. I've been waiting for it. The app said you were sitting here waiting for my food, which you clearly weren't." She goes, "Well, I just got it."
Oh, so this driver just got the order and now you're complaining that she just got the order and you were waiting for over an hour? I already assume that this person is not tipping their driver. And that's what they were bitching about. Like, that's the personality vibe I'm getting from this.
That's funny because your name that you just told me is your name matches the name that said at 7:35 that you were sitting and waiting for my food. So then I asked her, I said, "Can I just have my food?" And she goes, "No, I have to deliver it."
Yeah, the system actually does ask you to deliver it to the location in question. Like, I'm not getting a violation so you can get free food. I've seen this scam happen too many times. I honestly feel like that's what she was going for. She was going for an order with no tip so that way they can get to the restaurant, claim that they were there because they were waiting so long for it, and then be like, "Oh, I can't believe that you just got my order. I was waiting for it for over an hour," which is bullcrap.
"Ma'am, you want to follow me to my house to hand it to me in my driveway?" I said, "Can I just give you my license?" And she goes, "Well, I need to find out from support. Is that okay?"
Yeah, because I'm not getting a violation just so you could scam me. Like, that's not happening.
She goes, "Can I take a picture of it?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." Then I get a text message right after that that says that so-and-so has handed off your food to you. Yeah, at the restaurant, in the parking lot that I had to drive to because she wasn't there even though she said she was. So long story short, I come home, I'm eating my dinner. I was just, finding out from DoorDash how we can fix this situation. Because I gave this girl 20% tip, which I always tip my DoorDashers and my delivery drivers well, because I know that they work off their tips.
Okay, there it is. That's how you know it's bullcrap. You see, on DoorDash, you can't rescind the tip. That's not possible. And anybody who orders on DoorDash enough knows that for a fact. You can only add, you can't subtract. Not on this app. So she's probably just doing this for clout chasing. I'm calling bullcrap on the entire thing.
But I just tipped this girl 20% and she handed me my food in the parking lot of the restaurant. So DoorDash tells me that I have to get a refund from my Dasher.
Get a refund from the Dasher. Good luck, fam. And not to mention, there's also a possibility that Wingstop kept her tip as well, so she doesn't even have it, nor DoorDash does. Viewers can resonate. The viral video has 12,000 views and hundreds of comments. Many viewers related to Ashley's frustration with DoorDash's response. The things you do for content, huh? I had this same damn issue when I ordered in the Wingstop app, one viewer shared. They added that they had to call the store and they gave me grief about a refund, but they eventually did give me my money back. You see, that's exactly it. They ordered through the store, not through DoorDash. Through the store, the customer's tip could have been rescinded right there, forcing a longer wait time. And because
the guy on the phone was so sweet and answered all my questions so respectfully and told me the Dasher was never waiting there at all. I don't know what happened.
I'll tell you what happened. He put on a nice face and stabbed you in the back. That's a wolf in sheep's clothing right there. Happens so often and customers are oblivious to it. So who eventually gets the blame? The idiot driver who ends up taking the order. I refuse to use DoorDash. They don't even bother to try and find my apartment and just leave it outside in random spots outside. All they have to do is walk around the building. It's a first floor outside door, another commented. Really? Because I don't have that problem at all. My drivers, whenever I order, I live on a first floor condominium. There are 6 buildings here. They deliver to my door, no problem. And the GPS ends up taking them behind the building almost every time. Honestly, I think there's something else to it and they just refuse to acknowledge it. Probably because they're no-tip customers. They want to find a reason to shame DoorDash drivers somehow, some way. Another viewer shared, it's because some drivers scam the system. They use bots or have people holding multiple phones. They accept all the orders and wait for someone they work with to show up. And then they hand off the food. Okay, so what you're describing is the whole multiple phones thing or the bots thing. And 9 times out of 10, that doesn't apply to DoorDash. You are fishing so hard for a way to blame DoorDash drivers that it's not even funny. Yes, there is a problem with people having multiple phones, but that's not the issue here. And wait for someone they work with to show up. You're talking about some people who run like these teams or whatever, so that way they could just have a central point of operation and they just hand people off the phones. That is not even remotely close to the same thing, man. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. A part of me wants to say, I don't trust anything this woman is saying. The other part of me is that she systematically believed something about the system and is so confident in the idea that she is being wronged here, but who's gonna get the blame? The idiot driver. Wingstop could have rescinded the tip and kept it themselves. Who's gonna get the blame? The idiot driver. DoorDash could have held it in the system for an extended period of time, or there could be an inherent problem with the system with how they schedule orders. These apps are known for that. DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub, they're known for having scheduled order problems. Who's the person that's going to get the blame for that? The idiot driver. And some people are so damn convinced that one driver was waiting there for an extended period of time, when in reality, it could be two people with the same name showing up, or a similar name. Somebody goes there, they see that it's waiting for an extended period of time, or the restaurant is a no-tip order, they don't even accept it, or something else. Could it very well be somebody waiting there the whole time and the person that was in the parking lot to be handed off the phone showed up? Possibly. I doubt it though. I doubt that's the entire reason. And also, the fact that she claims she had tipped 20%, you don't wait over an hour for an order that you tipped 20% for. Unless the amount that she ordered was so small it wasn't worth taking, that's the only exception to that rule. Although I love everyone's commitment in the comments section trying to make it sound like DoorDash drivers are the root of all evil here. I'm so sure that's the case. And hey, Amara Thomas, the person who wrote this article, where's the driver's side of this conversation? Are you telling me that out of all the comments that were in here, that you didn't even want to take the perspective of the drivers on this subject? Because I'm looking and there are some here. One of them saying that you cannot actually click arrived at the store until you get there, so there's definitely something up with that. There's another perspective here saying that they've had a similar situation where he got the blame and he was the third dasher that showed up for an order. And there are other drivers who have said they're waiting for an hour and a half. What happened in those perspectives? Did you want to leave out those perspectives? Oh, let me guess. You're one of those people that scam the drivers. You're one of those people that want to condemn drivers instead of getting the full picture of the situation. You're just adding to the problem. That's what I thought. The piss poor integrity and character of another writer at the Daily Dot. However, I will say this. If you're going to go through an app, there's a higher likelihood that if it's not DoorDash or UberEats or Grubhub directly, that there's going to be extended issues. I'm not saying you shouldn't have your orders placed on those apps, but if you're going to use orders that are placed on those apps, such as Wingstop, Taco Bell, etc., set it for pickup. There's less of a wait time. There's less of an overall hassle. Every time I've done that, I've ended up with a more positive situation. I've always had problems with delivery, but I've never had those problems with delivery if I had placed it on the apps directly. And make sure you tip your drivers too, because that could have very easily been part of the problem. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.